Lead on! Lead on!
They had barely begun upon their journey when the spirit stopped to observe two gentlemen.
No, said a great fat man with a monstrous chin. I don't know much about it either way. I only know he's dead. When did he die? Inquired the other. Last night, I believe.
Why? What was the matter with him? I thought he'd never die.
What has he done with all his money?
I haven't heard. He hasn't left it to me, that's all I know.
Scrooge was inclined to be surprised that the spirit should attach such importance on a conversation so trivial.
Surely this isn't about Old Marley. Who could they possibly mean? Merciful heaven! What is this? Oh, kind spirit, show me some tenderness connected with death. Will this dark chamber ever present itself to me?
The ghost conducted him to the poor Bob Cratchit's house, the dwelling he'd visited before, and found the mother and children seated around the fire. Quiet, very quiet. The noisy little Cratchits were statues in the corner, and sat looking up at Peter, who had a book before him. The mother and her daughters were engaged in needlework, but surely very quiet.
And he took a child, and he set him in the midst of them.
At that moment, Bob put his hands to his face and cried, "My child! My little child!"
Suddenly, and without warning, the spirit of Christmas yet to come conveyed Scrooge to a churchyard, which was dismal, wretched, and ruinous. He stood amongst the graves and pointed down upon them.
Before I draw nearer to the stone to which you point, answer me one question. Are these the shadows of what will be, or the shadows of what may be only?
Still, the ghost pointed downwards towards the grave by which it stood.
Men's courses foreshadow certain ends. If these courses be preserved, then they must lead them. But if these courses be departed from, then these courses can be departed from. Say it is thus what you are trying to show me.
The spirit was immovable as ever.
Scrooge crept onwards, trembling as he went, and following the finger, read upon the stone the neglected grave of his own name.
Ebenezer Scrooge.
No! No! This cannot happen! This cannot happen! Why show me this if I have lost all hope? Tell me how I can sponge away the writing on this stone.
Holding up his hands in one last prayer to reverse his fate, he noticed an alteration in the spirit's hood and dress. It collapsed, shrunk, and dwindled into a bedpost.
Yes, and the bedpost was his own, the bed was his own, the room was his own, and best and happiest of all, the time before him was his own, to make amends in. Running to the window, he opened it and put his head out. No fog, no mist, no night. Clear, stirring, golden day.
What's today? He called, out of his window to a boy in Sunday clothes. What's today, my fine fellow?
Today? Why, it's Christmas Day. And Scrooge often said afterwards, that of all the blithe sounds he had ever heard, those were the blithest in his ears.
As he stood at his nephew's doorstep, he heard the words, "Dear Lord, Uncle!"
Let him in. It's a mercy he didn't shake his arm off. Nothing could be heartier. His little nephew looked the same. So did the sister when she came. So did everyone when they came. Wonderful party, wonderful games, wonderful unanimity, wonderful happiness.
Scrooge was better than his word, and infinitely more. And to Tiny Tim, who did not die, he became a second father. He was as good a man, as good a friend, and as good a master as the good old city knew, or any other good old city, town, or borough in the good old world. And many people laughed at the alteration in him, but his own heart laughed, and that was quite enough.
And he had no further dealings with spirits, but lived in that respect therefore afterwards. And it was always said of him that he knew how to keep Christmas well, and anyone who possessed the knowledge. And all of us, and as Tiny Tim observed,
God